Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Brinker here, and I am going to show you how we are going to make our Tiki masks. This is one I worked on for a while and finished and added lots of details to, and I tried to make him look angry, but you can pick a different emotion if you want yours to be happy or sad or silly or a different feeling, that's fine. The first step, and this is a project that has lots of steps, so we're going to just do a couple at a time. The first step is you're going to get a brown piece of paper. You're going to fold it in half the long ways, so it's going to be long like a burrito or a hot dog. And then you're going to draw a line. You can use marker or whatever. And the line needs to start on the folded side. So see, this is the folded side, not the open side. It needs to start at the folded side and kind of creep along. It can be wavy or spiky if you want, and then connect at the bottom. So what I'm doing is I'm just drawing half of the shape of the face to make it symmetrical. And if you remember, symmetrical means it needs to be the same on both sides. So you'll see how this turns out to be symmetrical. So I'm going to use a marker, draw lines coming straight out, kind of make it wavy. Maybe I'll make it spiky in a couple spots. And then down at the chin, I'm going to make it a little pointy again. Then you're going to use your scissors once you have your line the way you like it. You're going to start on the folded side again. So fold is here, open is here. Folded side is where my line starts. And you're going to just cut right on the line that you just made. Okay, so now when I open my mask up, it's symmetrical. It's the same on both sides, which is perfect, exactly as I want it. So it's a symmetrical face. Then you're going to do something kind of fun and something I usually don't let students do. You're going to get 4 different colors of pieces of paper, and you get to pick the colors. I picked pink, yellow, orange, and red, and you're going to scribble all over each of these papers with oil pastels. Then you can use whatever colors you want. You can do scribbly lines. You can do different colors layered on top of each other. You might do some zigzag lines, but going back and forth. 2 different directions, and you want to go from edge to edge of the paper, so you really want to fill up the whole piece of paper. What you shouldn't be doing is just doing a little bit of scribbling in the middle like that. That's not going to work. You want to cover the whole piece of paper, and I did all my pieces of paper already. Here's my orange one, and I have yellow and red as well that I've already cut up a little bit, and you'll see why later. Alright, because this was from my one that I practiced already. Alright, so after you have 4 pieces of scribbled paper, you're going to cut out a symmetrical nose. And we're just going to do the eyes, the nose, and the mouth together. And then you're going to decide the rest of the details. Like you could do hair, you can do eyebrows, you can use, I used white and black oil pastel to make other details on as well. So to make a symmetrical nose, you have to pick which color you want it to be, and obviously I'm not going to need this whole piece of paper to do a nose. So what I like to do is just cut out a little square, more of a medium size actually, and I do it on the edge because I want to save the rest of this paper from some other things for my mask. I'm going to fold it in half long ways, just like we did the mask. I'm going to draw a line just to draw the half of my nose, starting on the folded side. Come out for the nostril and go back in. But you can do any type of nose you want. It could just be a straight up triangle if you want. Cut on the line. Like so. And then, when you have it the way you like it, you can glue it down. Now mine has a little bit of a black line around it, so I could have used a pencil instead so that black line didn't show up. Although I might work with it and fix that mistake and turn it into something. So I'm going to glue my nose down with a glue stick in the very middle of my mask. And to fix that mistake, I might just make it look like I purposefully outlined my nose all the way around. You don't have to do this part if you don't want to. Sometimes the marker doesn't like going over the oil pastel. So I could use a black oil pastel instead. That tends to go on the top of other oil pastels a little bit easier. You can even draw some black nostrils if you want to make them look extra mad or extra, I don't know, surprised or silly. Alright, so there's the nose. Next step I'm going to do is the eyes. And the eyes are a little bit different than doing the nose or the shape of the face. I'm going to pick my color again of my paper. I'm going to cut out a long rectangle this time. Save the rest for later. I'm going to fold this in half. And this time I'm going to draw my whole eyeball, not just half my eyeball. I'm going to draw the whole thing. So, unfortunately, I don't have a pencil here, so I'll use a light colored crayon that doesn't show up as well. This time I'm going to make him happier, so I'll do more of a straight up almond shape. And then I'm going to keep my paper folded in half and cut it on that line I just drew. So now I have two eyes that are exactly the same. Now in my other mask, and this is a challenge, but you can try it because it looks pretty cool, is I outlined my eyes with a black piece of paper. So I have to mirror that shape I just made, but make it bigger. So I'm going to take a black piece of paper. Hopefully I have one here. Uh-oh. Hang on, gotta go grab the black. Sorry about that, a black piece of paper, and I'm just going to take my eyeball and put it on here. I'm not gluing it down or anything, and I'm going to draw an outline around it that's copying the same shape, going the same way, like so. Pretty good. Fold that in half again. So I kind of traced it, but I traced it so it was a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to cut on that line. So that they're the same again. And then I have a kind of a fun shape to glue these on top of so they really stand out, so they're outlined in black. And then I can glue these down. Since I don't want this one to be as angry, I'm not going to slant them down as much. I might make them more level like this so he doesn't look so mad. It's funny how such a small little change makes him a whole different emotion. So he's level now, and I can glue those down. And of course you want to take your time doing this. I'm going kind of fast so this video doesn't take too long, but I could go much slower and make it look nicer too. Alright, and then you could take any material you want, but I want to use a black oil pastel to draw the eyes. Since this guy is happier, I'm going to just draw circles. The last one was mad, so I drew swirls instead, but I think swirls might make him look too silly or too angry, so I'm just doing circles. Kind of like that. Okay, he's coming along. So now I have to think about what shape his mouth is going to be if he's happy. He's probably going to be smiling or something similar, maybe making an O face. So I'm going to pick another color for his mouth. Red would make sense. And I have some leftover red from my first practice, so I'm going to cut a square out of that. And then I'm going to fold this in half, just like I did for the nose. Draw half of the mouth, going up to be a big smile, and then cut. So now that's a symmetrical shape as well. A pretty silly mouth. Okay, and there's a certain way that we're going to make the teeth too. So you're going to get a white piece of paper for the teeth. Again, just like the eyeballs, I want to make this, I want to trace it, but I want to change the size a little bit. So I'm going to trace the mouth, And this time, instead of bigger, I'm going to actually want the white mouth to be smaller. So I'm going to cut that out once, and then I'm going to kind of trim it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a haircut to make it a little bit smaller. I want to fold it in half just so it's symmetrical. Okay, I'm taking a little off the top, taking a little strip off the sides. Now this part is tricky. I'm going to glue that in the middle of the red part of his mouth. So really just that red, just a little bit is peeking out of the red lips. Glue that down. And then I'm going to use a black to draw some teeth marks. And you can kind of do this however you want. You can just make lines like this. You can make them thicker to show that maybe there's a little space in between his teeth. Like so. He looks pretty excited. And from here I can do whatever I want. I could cut out some eyebrows, I could draw some designs, I could add some crazy hair, I could even add a beard or a mustache, and you can make it as personal to you as you would like. And that's how you make a tiki mask.